Hello, hello, hello. It's Kathy Vidal at MyStampandSpot.com coming to you with Fun Fold Friday. Well, we're waiting for some people to come in because people aren't going to want to jump in at the end of this. I'm going to just remind you that we are down to the last weekend, don't mind my sticky notes, of Stamp Club by Mail. You get 2 of each card. You get all the bling. And like this has a cute little sentiment inside. 2 of each card, plus you get a half pack. This, it's not showing it, but it will be a stripe of this paper in here. You're going to get a full pack of these festive pearls. You're going to get, oh gosh, I didn't think to bring the items over. So you get a half pack of DSP, you get some ribbon, you get some pearls, and all the information. Hey, Janet, all the information is in the link above if you would like it. So everything's die cut. A lot of detail in these cards. 8 cards, plus about $24 worth of brand new product for $28. That's a pretty good deal. But this is the last weekend to order your kit. Christmas Club has been very, very famous. Not famous. That's not the right word. Very popular. Clearly, I need more coffee. Okay. I saw this, I don't know, maybe Instagram or something. Hey, Kathy. And I was determined to learn how to do it. I seem to be in a little origami thing these days. Hey, Roberta, Kathy, thanks for being here, you guys. So I seem to kind of be in a little origami phase these days. So I thought, you can see I put a little pearl at her waist here. Whoops, too close, trying to get it so you can see it. And I used Friendship Royalty because I thought it looked like a princess dress. Now, at first I wanted to make Cinderella or I wanted to make Sleeping Beauty. So I was trying to go with a solid color dress. This is out of cardstock. This was my first attempt, and although it worked, it's kind of messy, as you can see. See how it's messy? All these folds and creases, and it's messy because the cardstock is actually too thick. So you're going to want to do this with Designer Series paper. Don't try it with cardstock. That's my first tip. My second tip is I used the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. You could really do any size circle you want, smaller or bigger. I will say, if you go smaller, you better have good working fingers because the folding can get a little tricky. I kind of thought this was the perfect size. I also thought it was the perfect size for a card front. So, any size circle. If you don't have a circle punch, I like punches because they're quick and easy, but if you don't have a circle punch, you also could use like the stylish shaped dies, any circle dies you have. You could even, cut a circle if you had to. All right. Then, to make the bodice of the dress, I experimented. Hey, Jennifer. To make the bodice of the dress, I experimented. I found that using the same size square as your circle, the diameter of your circle, worked best. Wow, this punch is filthy. Lots of glue on there. So this is a 2 3/8 inch circle punch. So I did a 2 3/8 inch square. Okay? So if you go bigger or smaller, you're going to want to measure the diameter of your circle. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. I chose, like I said, using regular thick cardstock. Hey, how are you? How's Missouri today? Pat, very hot in South Dakota. Wow. Yeah, this country's been really hot this year, hasn't it? Crazy season. Okay, so I was looking at different papers. I kind of decided I wanted to use the polka dot. This is from the Bright and Beautiful DSP, which I have used so much. And essentially, the 2 3/8 inch square I cut from the bottom portion of it. Okay? And then I punched circles from it. In fact, we're going to do that. I got to punch a couple. What do I do with my punches? All right. I am going to use the bottom part so that it's a little pinker. Hey, Mary. Thanks for being here. So I'm going to use the bottom part so it is a little pinker. I did use the top part to stamp this birthday queen. I also want to show you. That actually says to the birthday queen, but that was a little wide to fit in this space. I didn't put the dress high enough. So I just used a marker and colored just the words birthday queen before I die cut it. These are the stylish shaped dies. Oh, pleasant. Yeah, we've had a lot of rain here too in New England. Okay. Mary, I hope you're not going to be affected by that hurricane that's coming your way. I saw it on the news this morning. I was thinking of you out in California. All right, I have 4 circles. In the interest of time, I have a couple done. Okay, so we're going to do a couple together, but I did a couple just to get us going. So let me show you here. The way you fold your circle determines what the dress looks like. So can you see this one? The primary color is the pink, whereas this one, the primary color is the polka dots with the pink accents. So you have to determine what you like better. The primary color of my bodice is the pink, whereas this one, the primary color is, I had cut a square out of the lighter, out of this here. So it's lighter on this bodice. Okay, so the way you fold your circle, sorry, my dog's going a little nuts in there. I didn't know what's going on. The way you fold your circle is going to determine which way you like it. So you're going to have to play with it, basically. Let me put those 2 there. All right. I am going to do, because this one I did, the main was the polka dots. Oh, I need a bone folder. Let me grab a bone folder. Bone folder is very important in this. Very, very important. Okay. We are going to fold this in half. And bone fold. And we're going to fold in half again. Now, to get these to line up, I find putting a bone folder here and lining it up over the bone folder helps because it kind of puffs up this crease, giving you more ability to get that edge to line up well. Okay. 50 miles east of Sacramento in the foothills. Oh, good. Yeah, maybe you are too far north, Mary. All right, now we're going to pull down these, like, I'm going to call them a tab. I don't know if that's really the right word. But I find putting my fingernail here in the corner and starting and kind of just press, make a little crease. Come over here, put your fingernail there and give it a little press and then kind of just come across. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now there are actually 4 pieces in here. I'm only taking the outside piece. So I'm going to put my fingernail there, kind of bend it down, crease it, put my fingernail there, bend it down, crease it, and then kind of just bring it all across. Now, I suggest you use your bone folder. We're going to open it up, and we want these little flappy pieces face down. This is good for the princess in your life. So, we used to have a stamp set that said, I kept it actually, it was a Stampin' Up! Stamp set, that said, well, let me tell you what I'm doing here. I'm putting my bone folder at the corner, and I'm bringing this side over and bringing it to the midpoint. And there's actually a crease there from where we folded it, so it makes it easy to see. We used to have you see what's happening? We actually have 4 of these that we're going to overlap. This is how we're going to make the dress, okay? We used to have a stamp set that said, hey, Sheila, she believed she could, and so she did, or something like that. I thought it was awesome, and it just kind of reminded me of a princess. Okay, again, I'm putting the polka dots on the inside because that's what I want here. If you want pink here, you're going to want to put the pink on the inside. So whatever you want to be the primary color, put on the inside. In this case, the polka dots were my primary color. In this case, the pink's my primary color. So I'm going to fold it in half. And I can't stress enough how important a bone folder is. And again, you're seeing me, I'm using my bone folder just to make this rounded. And that helps me get this lined up well. I'm going to use my bone folder. Yeah, this is pretty neat, isn't it? Okay, I'm taking my nail, putting it right in that corner, pulling down and pressing like that. And then I'm just going to flatten that good. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now again, you have to do 4 of these for this dress. I've already pre-done 2, so as not to bore you. Okay. Once you have that, again, you're going to open it, and those flaps are going face down. I'm going to put my folder, my bone folder, along the center crease, and just fold the edge over to meet the center line. Okay, so this edge is going to come to this center line, like this. Thanks, Corinne, for sharing. Okay, now we have our 4 pieces. I'm going to bring in I'm going to move these aside here. I am going to bring in my silicone mat because this gets a little bit messy. Okay. Now what we're looking to do here, oh, I just got glue all over my fingers. Okay, what we're looking to do here is we're just going to put glue on the one flap. Okay, like this. Then we want to take this outside edge, and it's going to line up along this edge, so this piece of a circle adheres to the back here. So we're going to line it up like this. I'm going to hold this side down, and I want obviously my points in the same my points lined up like this. Okay, and then we're going to hold that down for a second. And then we're going to add glue here. Oops. And we're going to line up this outside edge again with the inside edge of this circle, lining up our points. Like that. Hold that down. And then we're going to come back and add glue to the third. And we're going to add our fourth piece, lining up the edges. There we go. Okay, that's our basic skirt. I am going to take a couple blocks and just put them on there. Okay, let that sit for a minute while we work on the next piece. Again, what you want to be the bodice is what you're going to put on the outside of this fold, okay? This one, I put the pink, so that the pink would be showing. I'm going to do the dots for this one. I don't know how it's going to look, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to fold it in half, I'm going to open it, and I'm going to fold it in half in the other direction, like this, okay? So we basically have made 4 squares. We're going to take this corner and bring it up to the midpoint. And again, I like to put my bone folder kind of in the crease to get it to the midpoint. Now I will tell you here, if these 2 points overlap a little, it's okay. It's better to have this seam be very close than wider apart. The closer it is, the better the finished product will be. Okay? We're going to use our bone folder. Now, you have to be careful here. You don't want to glue all the way to the top, but I am going to recommend either a glue dot or just a little bit of liquid glue, just like 1 dot down the bottom. Whoops, down the bottom. I'm going to spread that over. Just because it'll help to keep it from being as bulky. I learned that with this one. I used no glue in the bodice of this one. Now, granted, This is much bulkier because it's cardstock. I don't recommend cardstock. I do recommend DSP. But each one I did, I added a little glue inside after that one. Okay, and then we're going to take this line and we're going to meet it in the middle. So this paper gets thick and it gets a little bit tricky. See that big gap? You don't want that big gap. You want that corner to come way over. Like that. And then we're going to do the other side. And again, if these overlap, it's okay. It'll be a better finished product. You just don't want a big gap there because you're automatically going to get a little gap with the next step. And then you want to make sure you're scoring really well. Okay. Now, we're going to make the little arms on our dress. You're going to I kind of stuck my nail right kind of about where this line is in back. And I'm just going to fold this flap at an angle. Ooh. The sleeve is not going to be as pretty because I didn't get my edges lined up very well. So you're going to see what a bad fold looks like. And then what you're going to do, I'm actually going to make that a little steeper. A little more dramatic. You just really want to make sure that the two center points meet. That's the most important part of this part. Whatever angle you do it at, whether you make them a little more straighter, a little more angled down, it kind of doesn't matter as long as those points meet, that right here in the center. Okay? Then, so there's 4 pieces here. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom because we folded it. I'm going to put my bone folder in there and kind of widen it a little bit. You know what? I recommend you do that. I'm glad you like it though. Okay, so we put the bone folder in there and then we kind of crease down. So this crease is actually in the center here. So I'm putting the bone folder in between the layers. And I'm kind of twisting it a little bit to get it to open up. See that crease right there? And we're going to kind of get rid of that crease. Now, this is where I said, remember I said, oh, I didn't line my papers up very good? This is where you see it. Can you see right here in this corner? I'm trying to get it so you can see. See right there? Those 2 points, I have 2 points there. They should be right here. But because I didn't get my papers lined up very well, I wound up with that extra. So I'm actually going to do a little fix. We're going to do a little surgery. If I can find a pair of scissors. I'm actually going to snip off that extra little piece. Oh, so you can see better there in the back. Let me get a piece of darker paper. There we go. Do you see on the back how we have the 2 pieces here? I want it to be 1 point in the front, like this side. I don't want the 2 points. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of trim out that angle. That's a quick fix if you make that mistake. And then you'll have just the 1 point there. See, just the tiniest bit I cut out. And that was just enough. Okay, now that we have that, if yours isn't sitting nice and tight like that, you could put a little more glue right in here, or you could open it up and put a little glue dot in here. Either way. But then, what we want to do is, do we want to put this on a card front? Let's put this on another card front. So I'm going to put it on Berry Burst, like I did in this card. So I'm just going to cut a 4 by 5 1/4 layer. Now you can piece of scrap. It's dirty, but that's okay. It'll go face down. You can, if you want, assemble it on here and then transfer it. But in the interest of time, I'm going to do it right on my card front. Okay? There we go. So I want to put this piece down first. Now, if you wanted to assemble it here, you would plop a bunch of glue right there, put that on, put some blocks on it, like I just did a minute ago, and let that sit and dry. I'm going to put it on my card front, so I'm going to put it up here. So this one you can see is more polka dot on the bodice versus this one is solid pink. And again, it's just whatever you have facing out. Oh, I missed someone's coming. Karen. Karen, you can go back and watch if you're into the origami. Okay. So I'm just putting glue all over the layers. And I'm just going to put it as high or as low as I want. And I should have put this over just a little bit. So I'm going to actually tip her gown just a little bit so she fits on this piece. And now I'm going to let that sit. Letting it dry is the most important part here. Okay? That is very, very important. Each step of the way, you should probably let it dry. I have to tell you, once I started making these, I couldn't stop. So like I said, I started with basic cardstock. It was too thick, too messy. You can see how bulky it is. Don't do regular cardstock. Don't recommend that. This was actually the first one I tried with DSP that I made the card out of. Notice I put a little pearl because I was thinking she was a queen and she needed pearls. I put a little pearl in the center. You could do maybe a little bow. Would be cute there, a little ribbon with a little bow if you had a nice thin line. This one I did just before I went live, so I haven't even decorated the center. Perhaps this one would be cute with, oh, I just have, where are my pearls? Where are my pearls? Brought them over a minute ago. Well, I don't have, these are the old style pearls. Somewhere here, sitting here, is a package of the new pearls, but I don't know what I did with them. So you'll excuse me if I use the old style pearls, because I bet you all have them too. But I'm going to just take little pearls, whoops, and put them along the waist, like this, to cover the whole seam of the waist, like this. I mean, there's so many options. A little ribbon. There are just so many options here. Like that. Hey, Marsha. So there's, I put a little string of pearls at the waist. Okay. Here's my third one. I don't know what we're going to do with her yet. But you can fluff the pieces or you can leave them flatter. That's your call. This one I have a little fluffier. This one I haven't even done with anything with. Let me show you this one I did. Because after doing so many pinks, I was like, oh, I need to do a different color. So this one I chose to use the vanilla print. Yeah, Pat, I hear you. I do hear you. You could try glue dots. You could do glue dots for a lot of this. So this one, I did the vanilla print on the inside, but on the bodice, I chose to do the vanilla print on the inside so you don't see it. You only see the orange at the top. And these little, like, star kind of things, they come right out of the Friendship Royalty. And on this one, on the inside, I put, if the crown fits, your Friendship Royalty. So I thought that was really cute. This one I put Birthday Queen. I actually didn't stamp inside this one. Yes, Inked Botanicals. Thank you, Karen. I didn't say that. This is the Inked Botanicals DSP. On the center of hers gown, I just put one of the ombre matte decorative dots. I just used the one right in the center of her gown. But as you can see, the possibilities are literally endless for what you can do here. And how different do these each look just based on which way you folded the paper, what was inside, what was outside. So remember, the prominent color, the inside of the fold, is going to be inside when you fold your circle. So you need 4 circles and then 1 square that matches the diameter of your circle. So I had used the 2 3/8 inch circle punch, and then I did a 2 3/8 inch square for the bodice. So there we go. Yes. Wouldn't that be awesome for a little girl? It would be awesome for bridesmaids. It would be awesome. I couldn't find a pretty paper for a wedding, but boy, if you used like a white and silver paper, it'd be gorgeous as a wedding gown. The possibilities are endless, especially when you change out the details on the waist. So this one doesn't even have one yet. Maybe I'll put a ribbon on this one or something. I don't know. Well, all right. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed this. If you give this a try, send me a picture. Prom cards. Yes, prom cards. Absolutely, Karen. I'm telling you, the possibilities are endless. So if you give this a try, shoot me a picture. I'd love, love, love to see it. And don't forget, this is the last weekend to order the Christmas Club if you're interested in it. And, yeah, well, the fat finger syndrome. That's why I was stressing to use a bone folder when you wanted to fold things. I thought that was, this made all the difference in the world, Kathy, for that. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for being here. Always grateful for you. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.